Hello again, everyone. Welcome to Washington Gun Law TV. I'm Washington Gun Law President William Kirk. Thanks for joining us. Coming to you from Washington's premier indoor shooting facility. Of course, that's Security Gun Club right here in Woodinville, Washington. Listen, we're going to circle back to a state that absolutely hates the Second Amendment and absolutely hates every lawful and responsible gun-owning citizen of that state. And of course, I'm referring to California. And candidly, if California could come up with a way just to ban all firearms altogether, they would do it. Well, at least now they're going to try to take a big chunk out of it because they have a bill that, if enacted into legislation, would literally ban every single Glock handgun plus a large swath of other handguns. And they're going to all do it through the illegal activity of other third parties, not making it up. So today, let's spend a few minutes and let's talk about California's push to ban Glocks. Okay, California and America and anyone else who wants to wallow in California's misery, or anyone who's in a state that's concerned that this type of legislation may end up at your doorstep soon, because it very well may. Even though the matter of Heller versus District of Columbia made it perfectly clear that you just cannot ban handguns, apparently California never got that memo. Today we're talking about California Assembly Bill 1127, a bill that I said at the outset of this video would ban the sale of all Glock handguns. It would. It's not calling them out by name. It would actually ban quite a few handguns. We'll go through that with you in a moment. This is a California video, of course, which means we're going to give a shout out to our first ever California subscriber, which of course is Philip P. down there in California. Philip, thank you for always spreading the gospel of Washington gun law. Okay, so like I said, this is Assembly Bill 1127. What does it do? How does it do it? Well, I said earlier that this bill is really going to ban perfectly legal items due to the illegality of other people unrelated to the commerce chain of the legal item. Okay, what am I talking about? It's going to ban firearms which are easily convertible through switches such as the Glock switch, and it will make the sale of these firearms impossible or unlawful in the state of California. The first thing it starts doing is redefining terms in the statute. It will now define machine gun as, the term machine gun also includes any machine gun convertible pistol equipped with a pistol converter as defined in California law. Okay, now we're dealing with a whole new term, which is machine gun convertible pistol. What the hell is that? Well, this is how California law will define that, and I want you to pay attention to a couple of terms being used here. As used in this part, machine gun convertible pistol means it's any semi-automatic pistol with a cruciform trigger bar that can be readily converted by hand or with common household tools, as defined in California law, into a machine gun by the installation or attachment of a pistol converter as a replacement for the slide's backplate without any additional engineering, machining, or modification of the pistol's trigger mechanism. Cruciform trigger bar. That's the term I'm going to want you to focus on. The law would then further state machine gun convertible pistols do not include a hammer-fired semi-automatic pistol or striker-fired semi-automatic pistol lacking cruciform trigger bars, which instead have trigger bars that are shielded from interference by a pistol converter. Now, you guys may recall this video that we did previously about the state of Maryland, who's kicking around the whole same idea in House Bill 1287 out there. Their bill, if enacted into law, would actually ban any firearm at all that can be converted by some kind of unlawful switch, which really does bring almost all semi-automatic striker-fired handguns into that equation. The state of California here is actually carving out one very specific platform of firearm or components within a firearm, which would then ban the sale. And that is this cruciform trigger bar. Now, had an opportunity to talk to a couple of FFLs, had an opportunity to talk to my good friends here at Security Gun Club. This is what we are talking about right here. Okay, these are 3 different generations of Glock firearms. And as you can see right here, this is exactly what we're talking about. So that is how it's doing it. What exactly would this law do? Well, according to the bill, it states, except as provided in subsection C, commencing on January 1st, 2026, A firearms dealer licensed pursuant to California law shall not sell, offer for sale, exchange, give, transfer, or deliver any semi-automatic machine gun convertible pistol as defined in section 16415. Okay, so here's what I want you to understand, California, this cruciform trigger bar. All right, if you take a look at any Glock handgun of any generation, every single one of them has a cruciform trigger bar. So this law would apply to every single Glock handgun. But I want you to understand that there's a lot more that's at stake here. For example, the Shadow systems, they are Glock clones. ZevTech, Glock clones. They also have this cruciform trigger bar. The new Ruger RXM has a cruciform trigger bar. One of the entry levels to Smith & Wesson, the SD9, that also has a cruciform trigger bar. Oh, and the PSA Dagger, also a very, very popular firearm, especially for the price point, that also has a cruciform trigger bar. And that's just in a couple of brief conversations that I've been able to come up with a couple of gunsmiths. So the bottom line is, California, is that this is the first step in what inevitably is their effort to ban the sale of all handguns in the state of California. They will do so by passing Assembly Bill 1127, and that is how the state of California intends on banning all Glocks. Listen, we're going to go ahead and link up the legislation down below so you don't have to take our word for it. You can geek out on it for yourself. If you got any questions about this or anything else related to what's left of our Second Amendment rights, and in California, that's next to nothing, you guys should know how to get a hold of Washington gun law by now, but if you don't, that's okay. That information's down there in the description box. If you got an idea for a video we should be doing, click on that link right there and tell us all about it. If you want to check out our monthly newsletter, the ability to sign up for that is down there in the description box. And then finally, and most importantly, America lets everyone remember that part of being the lawful and responsible gun owner, like we talk about all the time here, is to know what the law is in every situation and how it applies to you in any instance that you may find yourself. Until next time, thanks for watching and stay safe.
Therein lies why we say in the legal defense sector that we are the most value-centered, cost-effective legal defense in the space, and we are. There's no question. Now, again, I've said before, we've got great competitors out there. They have outstanding products. We admire them. They pave the way for us. You know, we analyze the folks out there that are doing the same thing we're doing, and we took some great ideas from them, and we went down a path of believing that we were going to do it with a service aspect, a servant's heart, and we have again. Our number one goal has been to serve others first in a way that the industry hasn't seen.
Right to bear, that's right, legal protection for self-protection. Listen, good lawyers aren't cheap, cheap lawyers aren't good. You're not truly prepared unless you have right to bear back you. You will always get an attorney-answered hotline, so you will always have a confidential phone call. There are no cap limits for either civil or criminal defense. This covers all forms of self-defense. So from a fist to a firearm, from a fat lip to a dead body, you are covered, and you will have some of the nation's most passionate 2A attorneys in your corner fighting for you. And right now, if you visit my friends at protectwithbear.com and you use the promo code WGL, you will receive 10% off. Listen, you need to protect yourself so that you can protect them. Visit my good friends at protectwithbear.com.